us on page 101.
We'll have a look at your back. Is there any of that material around where
All day, take your 8 hours off, get up, check your truck, you know, have your Java, and go drive again.
When you flip this up, you've got all your pins, and as you can see, there's a groove and a design in here, so it's only going to go in one way. They're all the same. So basically, your plug, as you can see, has got a design on it as well, where they're not. I don't have anything structurally to shove on. Shove it in, and this tab that's on the cover, make sure it goes in behind the tab on you. All right, so maybe on the back of your tractor and on your trailers, you'll have what they call a sight glass. All right, it will have oil in it. And when we talk about the seals that break, as you can see, this seal is on the inside. There's not much to it. It's like cardboard. Yeah.
Rubber.
Yeah, there's not much to it. So when we're telling you about checking seals and checking brakes, all right, so basically this gasket's on here. It's mounted on the, I'll say the end of the axle. And you're going to have a seal on the inside as well. So when we're checking around our rims for wheel seal leak, as you can see, there's not much of a gasket. And if it becomes too pressurized, this lets go. And then your oil leaks out of your axle.
You should put off the brake, too. Put on the brake. 1, 2. Right on the 2. Yep. Get on the road.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm driving. I know it's been a long time, quite a few weeks actually since I've been on, so I thought I would quickly give you an update of what's happening. I just finished 4 weeks of training in the classroom for my transport training license. So I still have 8 more weeks to go, and it's gone well. It's gone well, actually. I'm pretty excited. I had to write my air brake test, and I did end up having to do that twice, but that's okay. It happens. But I did pass, so that is amazing. And it's funny too, because why we even have to do the air brake, because you're not allowed to touch them, right? So we're not technically, well, we're not mechanics, we're just truck drivers. So I shouldn't say just, because that's a very demanding and respectable position to be hauling all our goods, no matter what it is. If you've got it in your kitchen, thank a truck driver, right? So, but anyway, it's just been it's been fun. It has been challenging, but thankfully, because I have been around trucks pretty much my whole life as a kid, with Dad being a truck driver and stuff. I had the gist of things, but when you get the technicalities and the legal things that have to be, made sure that you abide by, stuff like that. One thing that I've always had, my radio, I should shut that off. One thing I've always had is the awareness of what is expected as a truck driver. Things like, the stopping time. Well, a truck can't stop as fast as my vehicle can, and it needs greater distance to do that. And so I've always known, never to cut off a truck driver, never to, when he or she is turning right, or even left for that matter, but right for sure, they have to come right out and make a wide turn, right? When a truck is making a right turn, a wide right turn, it looks like he's going to be turning left first, so that makes drivers that are on the inside lane think that they can just go ahead and make their right turn, when meanwhile they're going to be getting themselves cornered into the, wherever they're up against, like a curb or whatever. So they're going to get themselves stuck. So I see a lot of people will try and race the truck driver, to get ahead of them, stuff like that. But anyway, and so the distance that a truck driver needs, the space that a truck driver needs to operate in a run of a day, especially if they have to be in town somewhere, like wherever they're loading or unloading, things like that. It's a shame how people just take it for granted that, they think that truck drivers can stop on a dime when they can't. So just knowing things like the distance that it takes for a heavy load to stop, is actually, it was a lot more than I thought it was. But anyway, so I'm in an internship program, and what that means is for the 8 weeks that I have left, the last 4 weeks, I can be with a company. So a couple days ago, we had the truck driving, or we had the companies come on, kind of like a career day, and they had shared with us what they offer, and there's quite a few of them that are piquing my interest. One in particular, but there is one that wants to take me right away, so I have to decide if that's the route that I want to take. It's hauling. There's two different departments I can pick from, that I can choose from, and that is hauling wallboard or drywall to Montreal. That the distance and stuff like that isn't the problem. It's double trailer. I think they're offering that you have to be a double trailer, and it's tarping. So that can be daunting. That can be difficult. And then, or the other one with the same company can be wood chips, hauling wood chips locally. Also double trailers. So do I want to get into that right away, even though they train you and they do have extra time after your 4 weeks is up for training? Do I want to do that? I don't know. I don't know. So I've got a few options, and then I also have another company that came on, and they really piqued my interest in what they offer for newbies coming into the field. And so I've got a lot to think about. So if you're a praying person, pray that that God directs me, helps me decide which way I should go, where He wants me, things like that. So I'm actually just coming home with pizza and wings for the family. So we haven't been on the diet lately. So unfortunately, I gained my weight back, but we won't go there. We're not going to talk about that. But and on another sorry note, though, yesterday morning we woke up to Gabby girl has passed away. Our Gabby girl. So if you're new to the channel, go back and you'll see our Gabby girl, which is our chicken. She was always talking, talk. So I'm gonna miss that for sure. But she died of old age. She did her time, but she was a good girl, and but we've had to say goodbye to her. I was keeping an eye on her for the last couple of weeks. I did have her in the house. I thought she had like a water belly issue, and turns out not really. She did, but it was like it went away on its own, really. I had her in the house for about 2 days, 2 or 3 days, yeah. And she seemed okay. She seemed to be getting better. So I put her back out in the coop, and she gave us another, what was it, week and a half? And yeah, so she passed away yesterday. And anyway, so that's that. What else? Joe had carpal tunnel surgery. He's been off work for the last 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. And so he's recovering. He's doing well. And he's hoping to get back to work. He's getting bored. He says, I don't know how you guys do it. I said, what are you talking about? You're saying that I'm not working around here at the house? I said, no, we won't go there either. So anyway, it's because he's always used to doing something, and because of his hand and it being his left hand, because he got his first hand, which was the right hand, done first, if that makes sense. And anyway, he got the second one done now. So both hands are now done for him. We hope that this helps him. We'll see in the next few months to see how well it improved, or if it even improved. We don't know. He was getting tingling and numbness going on in his hands and stuff. So, but he's hoping to get back to work next week. He's been really proud of me and what I've been, accomplishing with my studies and things like that. And yeah, it's been nice to have his support for sure. People are wondering and asking me why now, why am I getting into this and stuff. And to be honest, I've always wanted to have my Class 1, it's considered Class 1 here in New Brunswick. I think it's AZ in Ontario. Yes, it is. And it could be the A or AZ where you're located too. But I've always wanted to be able to have my Class 1 license. And I figured if I was going to get into any kind of driving or delivery or whatever, I was going to go to the top and be able to have that license, and then I can drive anything, right? So I'd be qualified for that. Anything with an air brake endorsement. So that was one. And two, honestly, I've had a really bad habit of feeling what's the word? Incapable, or just judging my abilities, I guess, put it that way. Judging my abilities in life and what I can and can't do, and just telling myself, oh, you can't do that, or you wouldn't be able to do that, stuff like that. Just stupid head talk that you get, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. And so for me, I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired of telling myself what I can and can't do. So that was one of the main reasons. The other reason is financially. COVID really kicked the crap out of, I'm sure, not just us. I'm sure it may have kicked the crap out of you guys too, financially. And my home-based business pulled through, but there's just other things that we're looking ahead for, and I don't want to get into too much of what I think is going to be happening in the very near future, but I wanted to be able to have the extra money put aside for any type of an emergency that we may or may not run into. So I wanted to have a nest egg, basically a secure net financially. And so every bit of money that I'm going to be earning is going to be going towards paying off debts. So I want to pay. Okay, we got somebody that wants to pass me while I'm turning left, and they're passing me on the left. Very good. Very smart. No. Anyway, now that just distracted me. And what was I saying? Hey everyone, I'm back. So it's the next day, and I am relaxing from a long week of learning how to actually drive the truck. So I was inside the truck these last few days. I was quite shocked that they had me actually driving the truck. So I thought we were going to go through all the, the pre-trip and components of the vehicle and all that stuff. But yes, we did a pre-trip, but we also said, okay, let's go for a drive. And I was pretty shocked. So it was exciting, but nerve-wracking too, because again, I've never driven a manual vehicle, let alone a transport truck. We're bobtailing, there's no trailer attached yet. So we're not quite there yet. On another note, yesterday, which was Saturday, Joe and I, we were in town, and we were coming out of a parking lot, and somebody came along and hit us. So we didn't get too much damage. Nobody got hurt, thank God. But I'll show you a little bit of a video, not much, of the video, but of the guy pulling away after he thought I was, well, I'll tell you the story first before I show you the video. So what happened was I was pulling out and he was going to be coming in, and I had just turned the wheel to try and avoid him, and I put on the brakes. I wasn't going fast at all. Again, you're in a parking lot. So anyway, when he come in, he saw what he did, and we hadn't gotten out of the car yet. Joe and I hadn't gotten out yet. So, and he was saying, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm a mechanic. I can get that fixed for you real cheap. Get the part real cheap, stuff like that. Let's exchange phone numbers. So we got out of the car. Joe proceeded to go talk to him. I thought he was going to get the phone number, and I was walking around to get a picture of his license plate. Well, before he even got a chance to give us our number, he looked at me, and I guess he said to Joe, if she's going to do stuff like that, I can't do it. Joe says, we need your insurance information. He goes, I can't, and I have no insurance, and he backed up and sped away. So you'll see parts of that, of him leaving, and Joe coming into the camera reciting his license plate. So I'll tell you.
880.
So yeah, so it was basically a hit and run. Thankfully, Joe did get the plate. We called the police. They and you saw that there was, barely any damage. He broke my light there at the bottom of the car. I'm glad it wasn't the headlight, but anyway. So anyway, police came, did the report, all that stuff, and the cop says, well, we ran the plate, and the car is registered to an address on the west side of our city, but it hasn't been registered since 2021. So if he's driving around with no insurance and not registered, the odds of us actually finding him is probably slim. I'm not sure if we're going to hear back from the police officer. I'm hoping we do, but just to let us know whether they found him or not. We've been in contact with our insurance and everything, so that's on the go. So that was an interesting experience. Very rude, like to pull away like that. Anyway, I did some baking over the weekend. I can show you a couple pictures. I did some banana bread and apple loaf. I did that. So they turned out really good, as you can see. Look at them. They were beautiful. They tasted awesome. I had some bananas in the freezer. I'm like, I've got to do something with these real quick. So that's what I did. I made some banana loaves. I baked 4 of them, so 4 banana and then did 4 apple. The apple was really nice and moist. The banana was an old-fashioned recipe. Excuse me. An old-fashioned recipe, and the texture was more of a bread, like an actual bread, not really soft or moist or anything, but you could put it in a toaster and do whatever you want with it. I was putting peanut butter on it, toasting it in peanut butter, so that was pretty yummy. And yeah, so I just trying to get through this training and stuff like that. I still got a few more weeks to go, as I was saying earlier. 8 weeks now, well, 7 now. And but yeah, I can't believe that this week I was driving. So we were learning shifting up and down, shifting up, shifting down. And yesterday was really like it was challenging. So the trainer, my teacher, he said, I've just got to do a little bit of tweaking. And he says, other than that, you're doing great, especially for somebody who's 3 days into this at the time, or 4 days into it. No, 3 days. Yes, 3 days into it. And he says, you're doing better. And he goes, we just got some minor things that we need to tweak. And I said, you see minor, I see it as major. And he goes, well, I'm the truck driver and I'm the trainer, and I'd say, I'm telling you, it is minor. You've just got to slow down. You don't have to quickly get the gear, shift the gear as quick as you are. You just got to move slowly. 1, 2, 1, 2. And he kept doing that with me. 1, 2. So 1 is put the clutch in, 2 is put the gear in. And but yeah, I just got to slow down. But the downshifting is where it's a little different. Yeah, so with downshifting, what you got to do is you put the clutch in, and you give a shot of gas to put the gear in. And it's like so I'm not using accelerator when I'm upshifting, but I am using it when I'm downshifting. So I had to get that in my head, and it's still kind of confusing, but we were on the road, like a dead end road where we could drive back and forth about 10 miles long, and I was just practicing it, going up, going down, going up, going down. And so yeah, like I said, it was challenging, but I'm getting it. The second day I was anxious, but as I was heading to meet my trainer, it was pitch dark, 6 o'clock in the morning, and my car had ran out of windshield washer fluid. And if anybody knows me, especially Joe, I go through that stuff like crazy. I like to have a clear window and see where I'm going. So anyway, I wasn't sure if I had an extra bottle of it in my car, but there were people that were just not driving on their side of the road and in their own lane. And they were, getting too close to me. So it was giving me anxieties. And I don't normally do, but I think the older I get, I'm more aware of what other people are doing. And anyway, so I was full of anxieties. I pulled the car over, found a jug of it in my back seat. Thank goodness, in the trunk, I mean, and filled that up and proceeded to go. But I was so anxious and worried. It was also, the weather wasn't the greatest. It was dirty, and so it was splashing up on my windshield. Cars weren't, like, it wasn't wet enough for it to give me enough so that I could wipe it off, you know. And anyway, it was dirty and messy and everything else, and things were starting to dry up, and so it was getting bad. So thankfully I found some windshield wiper fluid and got that filled up and proceeded to go. So, but the rest of my day, because of that, it literally, like, I tried everything I could to chill out, and you know, but I still had these butterflies in my stomach all day. And so while I'm sitting there driving the truck, now I'm, you know, making sure that I'm not getting the same experience. Now I'm in a bigger vehicle, and you know, people riding the lines and stuff like that. It just drives me crazy. Like, stay in your own lane. But yeah, it's been crazy. So I'm off now for the next couple days, and my next training, as far as I know, is Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday. So that'll be my next week, and then they'll be adding more to it. But I've got 2 days so far already booked for me to get in there. Also, he had me starting to learn how to back up the truck, and so my first experience was actually on an incline. So stopping the truck on the incline, you're holding the clutch and the brake in, and now you just gradually let the clutch out, and as soon as you feel the motor grab, you let go of the brake and the clutch, and you back up. So if you don't catch that timing, you can stall out the truck. So I did stall it out once, but the rest of the day I was good. Then when we returned back, they've got a trailer that's parked there, so he had me back into the trailer and line myself up, and I nailed it every time. So I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. Like, I was dead on. So that was good to have that accomplishment. That felt good, and being recognized. And he said that was amazing, good job and stuff, you know. So I think the truck driving industry is definitely an industry that is underappreciated. And the things that the truck drivers have to do to get our product, no matter what it is, whether it's wood or your cookies, it don't matter, everything in between, what they have to put up with. They're dealing with the public. And yeah. And for me, as much as I enjoy, you know, meeting new people and things like that, I'm one of those people that when I said earlier that I'm very aware. The older I get, the more aware I am of what other people are doing. I've been like that since I got my license in the first place. It was something that, like, when I'm driving, I'm looking at 3, 4, or 5 cars ahead of me. Same with behind me, 3, 4, 5 cars behind me. And I'm keeping an eye on my surroundings. And just to be able to give yourself that extra reaction time, I guess is what I'm getting at. Your reaction time in case you see something ahead of you, or even seeing something behind you where it could, you know, a truck could be coming along and push another car, and then that jolts that car, makes that car fly into yours. You know, you don't know. So, but these possibilities, so I think of these possibilities that could happen. Of course, you pray that they don't. But anyway, so that's going to be a really good skill. I guess I'd call it a skill to have in the truck, because even the time that I was driving this week, and it's got student driver written all over the truck, okay? Do you think that matters to people? No, not really. Because there were quite a few times where I would have my blinker on to turn and people were staying behind me and they didn't have to. So this would be like I'm trying to get them to go around me, like they don't have to follow me because I was holding up traffic. And so anyway, or I'd be on the highway and they would just no sooner pass me and they would get right into the lane like right away. And it's like, holy cow, are you even cleared yet? You know? Or people that were, they come in and you're coming to a stoplight and the car comes in and goes right in front of you. And now you've got to even stop even harder. And yeah, so, and like I said before, a truck cannot stop like a vehicle, like a normal, your car. It will not stop. It needs like 3 times or if not 5 times the distance in order to stop. So anyway, anytime you're driving, be courteous to the truck driver. Please be courteous to the truck driver. It could save your life and somebody else's life and the truck driver's life, and just so much headache. It saves everybody so much headache if you just pay attention when you're out there on the road and not, just making stupid moves all in the name of what I call in a hurry to get nowhere. You're in a hurry to get nowhere. If you feel like you have to hurry, then maybe you should, give yourself another 20 minutes and leave 20 minutes early. Anyway, but yeah, so that's pretty much my update. I don't really have too much more to share other than those things that I did. But I really appreciate your patience. I thank you so much for your support and watching my videos. I do notice that my videos are being watched, so that's great, and I thank you for that. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by and checking it out. Normally, well, it's winter here, so we did get a lot of snow a couple days ago, and actually I've got a video of that. I opened up the door and you can see how high the snow got. I'll show you that right now.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, see? Anyway, so it's normally a channel of, looking after my chickens, growing things, creating a little homestead on our 3-acre farm, homestead farm, mini farm, hobby farm, however you want to put it. And home cooking, canning, all that stuff. So if you're wanting to learn any of that stuff, you go check out my playlists. I've got them, quite a few of them there, as well as people that I follow too. I've shared or saved some of their videos in the playlist, so you can check out who I enjoy watching too. But if you haven't already, if you haven't subscribed, we would love to have you with us and subscribe to our channel. Like the video, share them on your platforms. But thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I appreciate it. Again, I love your support, and I'm just sorry that it's taking so long for me to do another video in between while I'm doing this course and stuff like that. That's kind of like where my head is at. So I just, like I said, I appreciate your patience with us. And I noticed there's a few people that left, unsubscribed and things like that. And I got a feeling that that's why, because I wasn't delivering any content. And so I appreciate the ones who stick around and yeah, but life happens and we got to get this. I got to get this done. I have to finish the training, put myself in the I have to decide which company I'm going to go with for my internship. And like I said, there's quite a few of them that have piqued my interest, and I want to make sure that I'm making the right decisions on that end. So, and I have to make sure I get that decided, tell my school that, and yeah, so anyway. So again, thanks for stopping by, and we will see you guys in the next video. Hopefully it's not too long, but again, you know, I'm just getting the next 7 weeks taken care of, and yeah, things will probably come back to normal. Okay, take care. We'll see you later. Bye for now.
We've got our S-cam, we've got our brake pads on our brake shoes, and our anchor pins are over here, right here, as you can see, right? So that when you make a brake application, air would go into the brake chamber and then push on the diaphragm, which would push the push rod out of the brake chamber.
You look up on top, no damage, my lights are all there, my windshield, no cracks that I can see from here.
Yep.
When you're getting in the truck, by this time you're all done outside, right?
Yeah.
When you get in the truck, they're gonna be sitting where you're sitting. Oh, you're back here.
Yeah.
Here's where you start again now, right? You start up there. Sun visor,
Sunfire looks good. Reflectors look good.
windshield.
First time for everything. Well, day 3 done.